Okay, we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Divinely Crowned Conversations podcast. I am your girl, Davina, and I am so excited for tonight's interview. Before we get into this interview, I always want to make sure you guys remember to like this video, share this video. We are streaming on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, make sure you do so. But tonight we have my divine guest, Miss Damo. I'm saying that right? Damo?
Damo, yes,
Damo
ma'am.
Diore. And I am so excited because we have never, this is our first time officially meeting. So I'm so excited for this one. So let me have her introduce herself to the people and then we will get into this conversation. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Miss Damo.
Hey, y'all. It's Damo Diore. I don't even know y'all do a little bit of everything, but my probably main thing you guys know me for is for being a CEO and boss chick of Baddie Obsessions, a all-on women's business, clothing business. So I do a little bit of everything though. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that later.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So, like I said, this is Dama and I's first time meeting officially. I know you're from Erie, right?
Yes, yes, I
Okay, from
am.
born here, raised here, and then moved.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, and yeah, so I never even met you when you were here. This is pretty cool. So I think
Yeah.
I probably was a creep and added you on Facebook and just like saw
Why you gotta be a creep
because
though?
I'm a creep. I be creeping on people. I'm like, I like her vibe. I'm gonna just add her. So I love
Right.
it. So I'm like, I love her. You've had some transparent moments that you've shared, and it just always touches me, especially as you being a new mom. And I'm like, I'm gonna reach out to her. I see you doing great things with you being a CEO. And so I was like, I'm gonna reach out and see if she wants to get on the podcast so we can talk about her journey and things like that. So
Yes.
before we get into this, if you guys remember, because my viewers be in the comments, they be commenting, which right now, Shamia, hey, she said, hey guys. So
Hey
throughout
girl.
the conversation, go ahead and interact with us. We like to interact with you. And yeah, so let's get into this divinely crowned conversation. So, Damo, usually, so how I always like to start, because Divinely Crowned is all about the Divinely Crowned Conversations podcast is all about just talking about our journey, where we come from, where we're at, and where we're going. And so I always like to start at the beginning. Like you said, you born and raised in Erie, PA. So tell me a little bit about what young Miss Dama was like.
I just have such a complex life. Like I'm
Hmm.
like, it's always like, when people ask me this, because I'm like, girl, where do I start? Damn, I know I was in trouble a lot
Okay.
growing up. I wasn't I wasn't the most behaved person. Like I was always like a rebel. Always did what I wanted to do. I had a hard time listening to people and following directions. So in turn, I did a lot of time because
Okay.
like I said, being on probation, being in and out of jail and stuff like that, I never liked to listen to people. I was a rebel. I was always fighting, stealing, like just doing some crazy stuff and getting myself locked
Mhm.
up. So
Okay.
I'm a little wild. I kind of like toned down a little bit after I had my baby, but yeah, I'm just
That's you. Yeah,
wild.
that is your journey, and I appreciate you for sharing that. Like seeing you and seeing like your like what I've seen on social media, I would have never thought any of that.
I know it's crazy because like I even had a period of time where I went to college for a minute. So
Wow. Okay.
like and I ended up like telling my classmates like, yeah, I just got out like a year ago, and they were like, got out of where? And I didn't realize that like it slipped my, but I'm not hiding it either, but I didn't
Yeah.
really realize what I was saying when I was talking. So they was like, yeah, got out of where? And I'm like, jail. And they was like, stop playing. And I'm like, I'm dead serious. Like, they was like, well, what did you do? We would have never knew. And I'm like, that's a long story, but
Right. Listen, I
I
did
was
my
there.
business.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I was there, but I'm not there no more.
Yes, you're not there no more. So, and you even being able to say that, and it's kind of, and I don't want to say this in the wrong way, but it's like you said, it's a part of your journey, and it's like everybody's
Yeah.
like, "What?" But you're like, "Yeah, this is me." And for you to be able to say this is me and that was where I was at, like I guess I want to talk a little bit more about that. So like you saying like I was pretty much in and out of jail and a rebel without a cause.
Hmm.
Like what has that even taught you now as now you're a mother? And I'm going to be probably all over with this conversation, but I
It's
want to kind of
okay.
pull that out. Like what has maybe that journey of being where you were at in those moments, like what has that taught you now as an adult woman with a child?
I feel like a lot of this stuff really ties into like self love,
Mm,
self worth, and knowing who you are, because like when you're younger and doing stuff like that, you're really lost and you're looking for attention.
mm,
So it's like, I'm out there stealing. I ain't gotta be, my mom always took good care of us. Like,
mm,
I'm out there fighting and just angry for no reason. Like, well, it
mhm,
was a reason, but I didn't know that it was a reason. I just thought
mhm.
that, I was fighting to be fighting.
Yeah.
I feel like all of that just ties into like knowing your worth, because if I would have knew what I knew now, 10, 15 years ago, I would have been a boss. I would have been owning my business. I would have been getting this money. I would have been owning shit. Like, I would have never wasted so much time trying to fight everybody around me when I could have
Mm,
literally just been leveling up and
mhm,
making people regret like how they did me, or, not being there for me or not being supportive. I just feel like all of that was like a cry for attention, because like
mm,
I didn't have like a dad around or whatever, and me and my mom, we always had like an estranged relationship or whatever.
mhm.
Like we wasn't really always the closest, because she spent a lot of time trying to work and take care of 5 kids.
Yeah.
So in turn, that like it makes it hard for you to actually be up and up with your kids when you're always at work. You can't ask them, how was school, and is anybody picking on you, or are you happy, or like those
Yeah.
type of questions weren't questions that were asked. So
Yeah.
like I think it just started from all of us, me and all my sisters collectively. I think it just started from us being younger, just doing anything for attention and just
Mhm.
carrying it on and not being able to stop it. But if people would have been there to tell us like, you are worth something, you are beautiful, no matter if your dad don't want to be in your life, like it's his loss. I feel like if we had people like that to instill that in us, then we wouldn't have like acted like that.
Mm. That's I mean, thank you for sharing that for the simple fact I've actually always been the type of person, well, not all, I shouldn't say always, but like I've been the type of person when you do see those children that act out and things like that, it's like, oh, they're just bad. And it's like, no, there might be a reason. Like, what is the reason? And for you to say like you wish you would have had people around to tell you like, everything's okay, or I love you, or give you a hug, or ask you, hey, what's wrong? What do you need? Like, you're feeling like, how are you feeling today? Like, that might have been made a big difference for you. And I want to ask,
Yeah.
like, because I know this day and age, like, I know children, like, our youth need a lot of help and they need a lot of attention. So, like, what would you tell even adults right now that maybe don't understand why children are acting out? Like, what would you tell them maybe to maybe give them a better perspective on why maybe children are acting out in the way they are?
I feel like talk to him, like we all want some kind of attention.
Mhm.
And people think like society has made it bad to want attention. Like
Mhm.
they made it like so normal, like, oh, she wants attention, and no, like there's good
Mm.
attention and there's bad attention.
Right.
But regardless of whatever, the common denominator is somebody's crying out for attention for some
Mm.
reason. They're either not getting emotionally supportive, they might be getting bullied in school, they might don't feel like they're pretty, they might be going through puberty and
Yeah.
are being teased because of it. Like you just never know what's going on in a child's mind. And I feel like as a mom now, I never want there to be a period of time where like my daughter is like hiding things from me, or going through stuff with other girls at school and she thinks that she can't tell me because I'm too
Yeah.
busy, or I'm working or I'm tired. Like you always should make time for your child and
Yeah.
making sure that they come up better than you did.
Yeah.
If I don't do nothing else in this world right, like I want to make sure that I raise her right. I raise her to be confident. I raise
Yeah.
her to know that she don't have to want to be like nobody else. She don't have to let nobody take advantage of her. None of that. So I would just say really like talk and talk to like listen to understand, not
Mm-hmm.
listening to respond because people can tell you like something until they're blue in the face. They can tell you,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not happy, I'm not happy, I'm not happy. But if you're not really like listening to them and asking them, well, why are you not happy? Why do you
Yeah.
not feel like you're happy? Or what do you feel like you need to be happy? Then it's really pointless. You're never going to get to the root of the issue and understand why it is the reason why someone's acting like that or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And that's good. I think that's talking is very important. And I will even say I have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old, and I try to do better with that. Like, children, I don't know if you don't have this yet. How does your baby?
She's 14 months.
14 months. So she ain't talking back yet. Okay.
Nope.
But my daughter is one that I'm like, okay, I don't want to just always feel like I have to discipline her. And even my son, like, I don't want to feel like, okay, every time they're acting out, it's because they need discipline or they're bad. It's like sitting and talking to her. Like, even yesterday, we were like on our way home and I was just asking her questions like, what makes you happy? She gave me her list. I'm like, what makes you mad? Like, and those are things that it's like, to us it might seem like such a small thing, like just asking that and hearing their response, but when when they feel valued, like their feelings are valued and they're
Right.
important, like I believe that makes a difference. And like I've asked, like, are you happy? Like, is there anything I can do as a mom? Like, do you feel like I'm spending enough time with you and things like that? Because I've seen so many situations where it's like I'm not getting attention from my parents or my family, and I need that. And it's so important. So you talk about having 5 siblings. And so what was that like growing up with them?
Honestly, we were never really that close.
Okay.
Yeah, to be honest, because I feel like being as though we were all in our like own misery, kind of.
Mm,
It sounds
mhm,
crazy to say that as a kid you could be miserable,
mhm.
but you can. You
You
can. People don't
can.
think that you can. You can.
Mhm,
So I think we were all just in our like feelings of like, like just feeling inadequate and like,
mhm,
we weren't paid enough attention to.
mm.
So like we all just kind of did our own thing. It was almost like it was like every man for himself because it's
Yeah.
like,
Wow.
we didn't really have a close bond. We wasn't really taught to lean on each other. We weren't taught to have each other's back. We weren't taught that like family is everything and like sisterhood is
Mhm,
everything. So like
mhm,
a lot of times we fought like
mhm,
people on the streets. Like we were not
mm,
close at all. It wasn't until we got like older
m'kay.
until we realized like, like we got all these sisters and a brother. There we shouldn't even have to deal with outside people when we have sisters that
Mhm,
we can open businesses with, we can go to the
mhm.
club with, we can go out to eat with. Like family is important, but if
Yeah.
that's not like instilled in you, then you take it for granted and you really like just whatever about it.
I
So
agree. I totally agree with that. And I'm glad that you guys are now able to, as you're getting older, because I know my sister and my oldest sister and I mean, we went at it. Like she's like 2, 3 years older than me. So we always went at it. Like she didn't want me to hang with her friends. She didn't want me to deal with her. Really. She's like, I want my own space. But like as we got older, there's been a lot of healing that has had to happen. Like there's times where my sister and I won't talk for like 6 months. But it's like we realize at the end of the day, like, listen, when mom and dad are gone, when friends leave you, when significant others might walk away or they getting on your nerves, like we have each other, and that bond is so important. Like you need your siblings, and I believe excuse me, God gives you siblings for a reason. So I'm definitely happy that you are able to have that relationship with them, even if it's in some way. So you say you are business. Do you work? Are you in business with any of them?
no, I'm not. It's still kind of complicated if you want to
It's
be honest.
okay.
Like, because
Listen, that's fine.
my younger sister, she's like 20, and
Okay.
I did ask her if she ever like could see herself owning a business or whatever, but she actually went to school for massage therapy, so she wants to
Nice.
be like a not wants to be, but she's a certified masseuse or whatever.
Okay.
So and then my older sister is having like some personal crisis, like she's been like not herself for a while, so
Mm,
we haven't even been able to talk about anything business related or other than that because she's like
mhm,
not stable. She hasn't been stable for a minute. And
mhm.
my mom's other daughter, no comment on that because yeah.
You don't have to say nothing you don't want to. Listen. Yeah, so let's get into your business a little bit. So you had talked about, going to school. Were you going to school for business?
No, I was actually going to school for accounting because
Okay.
I've always loved like math and numbers and stuff.
Nice.
So I was going to school for accounting.
Okay. So what made you start like a business? And your
I
fashion, I
just feel
guess, of
like,
all of like your clothing line again.
yeah. Um, I just feel like I love clothes. Like I love getting dressed. Like
Mhm.
I've never been camera shy. Like I've always, took pictures. I was modeling like back in 2012. I started with that.
Mhm.
I've always just been super into fashion and like my looks and stuff like that. I think that was a way for me to like escape or whatever
Mm,
when like
mhm,
I was feeling some type of way about something or,
mhm.
down in my bag, not feeling
Yeah.
too good. Cause when you get dressed, you feel good, you look
Yes.
good, all that ties into each other. So
Yes.
I was always like into just like mixing and matching stuff together and like just coming up with complete looks and just slaying. So I was
Yeah.
just like, you know what? I'm gonna start a boutique because I just feel like I just got something to contribute to the fashion world and
I
like
love it.
I can also like inspire other people and stuff like that.
Yes. And you having some cute clothes. I'm like, I'm gonna get some of them one day. So you said you did. Listen, I you
Yes.
yes. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm
Imma get
screaming.
there one
Swear.
day. So you said you were a model. You modeled.
Yeah, I do see all that ties into each other though. Like
Okay.
I feel like all of that goes hand in hand, like with the modeling. Cause like I've always, like I said, I started modeling in 2012, not 2022, 2012. I started
Okay.
modeling. But I was always in and out of jail. So like I
Yeah.
could never really get a solid foundation for anything because when I
Yes.
would be presented an opportunity, I would get in trouble. So
Mm.
it was like I was really blowing it for myself. But like with the modeling and the rapping and like the having to take pictures, keep my hair done and stay like fly and all that, I feel like all of that ties into each other.
Okay. And you said
Mhm.
rapping.
Mhm.
You rap.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't listen, when I think I did see okay. So what tell me
Yeah.
about you
I
rapping. How long
haven't
you
been
been rapping?
active. I
You
haven't been active.
you
That's what
haven't
that's
been
I think
active?
that's what I started to say. I haven't been active, like I haven't been actively rapping, but I've always been a writer. Like
Okay.
that was like a little that was a way for us to escape or whatever when we was kids. Well, I know me at least. I think one of my
Yeah.
other sisters was into like um writing as well, and all that. But I like, I don't know, like I always wanted to be like heard. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes.
like with the whole rapping shit, like I started off writing. I've been writing since I was like probably 6, 7, 8 years old. Like I remember I used to
Wow.
write my mom little poems and stuff, and she would like stick them on the refrigerator, like little cute, corny little rhyming poems, like favorite color is blue, I love you, like just stupid,
Yes.
corny shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, like that allowed me to express myself and to release
Mm.
things that was on my mind that I couldn't really tell nobody because like nobody was listening. So I think I wanted to actively start pursuing it back in like 2018, I think it was, because
Okay.
I had went to prison and I actually met a girl that I'm still really good friends with, and she
Mhm.
was a singer. So I
Okay.
used to like write songs and stuff for her, and we would like, link up and be in our rooms and stuff, and she'll be singing them. And like, she asked me, like, yo, like, you ever tried to rap? And I'm like, bitch, I'm not no rapper. Like, you know what I'm saying? Excuse my language. I'm like, girl, I'm not no motherfucking rapper. Like, what do you mean? Like, she's like, no, I think you should try, like, cause you like really lit. I'm like, girl, nah. So I was acting shy, but like I really went back to my room and I was like, can I really do this shit? So
Oh.
I just started like listening to songs like anything that was on the radio and like trying to write over like their words and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
in the cell chanting it, and then like I start like feeling myself, and then I was like, you know what, about that, like I'm gonna try this
I
shit. Like I think this is what I want to do. So I came up with this plan when I was in jail. I was like, yo, I'm gonna be a rapper. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna shoot all these videos. I'm gonna blow up. I'm gonna get rich. Like people used to be listening to me, like, girl, like you crazy as hell. Like they probably just wasn't believing what I was saying, but I really got out and did everything that I said I was gonna do. I
good for
started shooting
you.
videos. I got on YouTube. I did the whole process. I didn't cut no corners or nothing. I was paying for studio time, paying for my beats, writing music. I had a whole bunch of stuff written before I got out of jail or whatever. So I had already had stuff ready to be recorded. All I needed to do was like get pretty and shoot videos and just like throw them up there, and that's what I did. But
That
I
is
stopped when I had a
awesome.
baby. Yeah, I
Oh,
stopped when I had a
okay.
baby because like my emotions, like pregnancy is crazy. Like my emotions took over my whole life. I couldn't
Mhm,
focus. Like I be having to be in a good space to write and create like good music. And like I went through a lot during my pregnancy and afterwards. So
mhm.
like I wasn't able to get back into the swing of things, but I'm coming back.
You coming
I'm
back.
coming back.
Listen,
Yes,
it's
I'm
it's
coming back.
it is definitely a process when you are getting when especially your first child. I can literally
Woo!
what my oldest is 10 and I remember like I could cry thinking about like I have my mom on here, which let me get in these comments real quick because they commented. So we have Shamia, she said, this was my first time watching. So thank you,
That's my
Mimi.
girl.
I
Yes.
know. Marie, and she said, "Hello, ladies." And she's
Hello.
Mimi said, "Now you're a boss, Damo Dior."
Thank
My
you,
my mom.
baby.
This is my mom. She put the heart. She said, "This is a
Hey,
beautiful
mom.
combo, women for." My
Hey,
that's my
mom.
mother.
Thank you.
Ah, Montrese, boss sister. And my mom said,
Oh, that's
"Glow."
my baby.
Yes, and Montrese
That's my
said,
bro.
"Proud of you." So wow, there's like two different things. I'm like, first of all, you talked about like somebody pushed you kind of to just be like think outside of kind of the box, like you can rap. And for you
Hmm.
to be so you never thought you would even be rapping, but
No, I
you
just always used to like to write.
yes. So you talking about like no one kind of believed you and you got out and like did all these things. Like how did that feel like when people kind of I would say doubted you?
It kind of feels good to me, like, because
Okay.
people always tell me what I can't do, and I'll be like,
Mm,
watch this. Like,
yes.
y'all think, like, I'm not one of them people that just talk about stuff and, like, after, like, as I'm, like, progressing and, like, moving forward with life, like, I learned to just stop even announcing stuff. Like, I don't have
Mm,
to tell people every single thing. I don't have to
mhm.
run my moves by them. I don't have to run my dreams by them because
Yes.
why should they even believe in it if they don't believe in themselves or they don't have
Yeah.
anything going on? And like I would feel some type of way sometimes when people like would say stuff to me, and now I just be like, I don't even care. Like none of that stuff even like reaches me at all because I'm so in tune with what I'm doing, and I know anything that
Yeah.
I touch can turn into gold. Like, and that's just not being
Mm,
cocky or nothing. That's because
mm.
like I put a lot of effort into everything. Like I'm a perfectionist. It's a blessing and it's a curse because
Oh,
if I do something, I'm gonna make sure that I'm doing it and I'm doing it well. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
half step. I'm not gonna come out with no crazy corny. Like no, I'm gonna make sure that I put my all into this. So
Yes.
I always knew like whatever I tried to do, I can do it. I just have to stay out of trouble long enough, and I have to stay consistent because that's all it is for real. For real, it's all
Yeah.
about being consistent. Even if you don't start out as good, you get better and you get better and you get better. Like I try to share my journey with the clothes and stuff with people, and I showed them how I was pregnant when I started, and I couldn't model the clothes, and how I started doing my makeup, and I couldn't even do makeup at all at first. Like it's a process
Mm,
to everything, and you don't have to get anybody's approval to do something that you want to do because why would you need their approval when you already
mhm,
wanted to do it? Like it doesn't make no sense.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And that I mean, and that's good that you were able to even, finally acknowledge that for yourself because I think we live in a day and age where social media like or just in general people are always telling you what you can't do or like you people are comparing what you do to other people and things like that and
Hmm.
people are announcing all their moves and things aren't working out in the way they should and it's like you have to kind of take a step back and say, like, okay, who am I doing all this for? Is it because this is my
Exactly.
passion? This is what I know in my heart I'm meant to do? Or is it to please people? So that kind of, you talk about, like, not caring about what other people say. Like, what would you tell somebody who might be struggling with that area of, as a business owner, or even just, I'm gonna talk to my queens, like, talk about my queens, like, even just in their daily life, like, what would you tell them?
I would tell them I feel like they're gonna talk whether you're not doing nothing or if you're doing something. You might as well give them something to talk about. People are literally gonna talk about you if you're sitting on your couch watching TV all day. So
Okay.
you might as well give them a juicy conversation like, oh,
Yes.
she thinks she can rap. She thinks she can. Yeah, because what are
Yeah.
you doing? Like, nothing that anybody says matters because at the end of the day, that's them talking from their own insecurities because
Mm-hmm.
they're mad that they don't have the confidence to go chase what they want to chase. People are
Yeah.
going to talk.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff, you get to a point where that stuff doesn't even reach you. Nobody calls my phone and says, oh, so and so said whatever about you. We don't, we're grown, like we're past all that. We're past caring what people think. Like we're
Mm-hmm.
literally past that. Cause
Yes.
ain't none of these people paying your bills. None of these
Okay.
people got to sleep with you at night. Like you're gonna
Yep.
let somebody else's opinion stop you?
Yeah.
Like no. Mm-mm.
Yes, that's good information. I mean, good advice, not information. I mean, it is information, but it's good advice. And I hope that whenever people listen to this, that somebody is able to take that advice, because I know it can be hard, but like you said, like, they're not paying your bills, you're not, like, sleeping with them at night. And at the end of the day, they're not living your life. Like, we all have our own lives to live. And listen, like you said, they're not even, a lot of times people aren't even doing what they say you can't do. So
Literally.
who are they to tell you what you can't do? I have Jaleesa in the comment. That was my last guess. She said consistency is key.
Yes,
We have
ma'am.
LaShonda. She said yes. And then she said exactly. So I want to talk more about motherhood, because I do feel like you are very transparent and open about
Hmm.
motherhood as a new mom. So tell me what that journey's been like for you. If
It's
whatever you want to
hard.
share. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Mhm. I could say so much about being a mom. Like,
Mhm.
I guess like the good part about being a mom is that like you have somebody. Like,
Mhm.
I know a lot of people are looking for love. Like in
Yeah.
this day and age, I don't know if it's like a trend or like
Yeah.
people feel like they can't be alone or like people want like their own person. But I feel like as a mom, like I have my person now. Like
Mhm.
if I was to never, get married, if I was to
Mhm.
never, whatever, which I do want to eventually one day, but
Mhm.
I would be okay knowing that I have a daughter to pour into and somebody that genuinely loves me without anything. Like no
Mhm.
matter if it's raining, snowing, no matter if I wake up ugly, if I wake up cute, she's still gonna smile at me and
Yeah.
look at me like I'm like just the best thing in the world that she's ever seen. Like so it's beautiful. Like the good definitely outweighs the bad. It
Yeah.
is hard though. Like it's being a mom is like so hard, especially when you're trying to run a business,
Mm.
go to work, have a life. Being a mom is hard. I would say definitely have a support system. Like it really takes a village. When they say
Mhm.
you need a village, you need a whole village. You need the giraffe. You need the rhinos. You need
Yeah.
you need the village and the animals. You need the whole village. Like
Yes.
it's real because like sometimes I get burnt out because I do a lot. Like I work
Mhm.
from the moment that I open my eyes to the moment I close
Mm.
them. I sometimes I fall asleep with the phone in my hand. So like I'm trying to find balance between making sure that I'm spending time with her, making sure that I'm giving her attention and not like feeling like I'm neglecting her or
Mhm.
just not playing with her and like enjoying her being a baby. It's like it's hard trying to balance the all, trying to
Yeah.
build an empire, trying to make sure that she's straight and she doesn't have to go out and do the things that I was doing for money.
Mhm.
Um, and at the same time teach her morals and like respect and just like common things. So it's definitely hard though. Sometimes
Yeah.
it be bringing me to my knees, but
I get it.
I
Listen,
swear I
I
wouldn't trade
get
it
it.
though.
Yes. So I get it. And it's, you talk about the emotions that come with after a baby. Like, I know I suffered from postpartum heavy on my first one. Heavy. I remember I my it was so bad. My brother, my younger brother, I'd say, he's like, Are you all right? I'm like, no. Like, I remember living on my own with my daughter's father, and like, I was like, I just want to go home. Like, I wanted to go to my parents' house and just curl up in a ball. So
Hmm.
like it's not easy, but it is definitely worth it. So I want to ask, like, during those times where you might not feel your best as a mother, like, what do you do for yourself?
What do I do? I don't know, girl. What do I do? I feel like I don't know. Sometimes like I feel numb because like I never stop. Like I keep going. I keep going. Like I also suffered through postpartum. Like I had
Mhm.
postpartum very bad. Like
Mhm.
and it was crazy because like it was we were just starting out in a business. So like I really didn't have time to be depressed, but
Mm.
I was depressed. So it was like even through tears, I was getting up and posting and trying to stay active and still trying to
Yeah.
sell clothes. Meanwhile, like on the other side of the mountain, like I'm feeling like crap. Like
Yeah.
I'm sad every day. Like I'm feeling like I can't do this. Like I
Yeah.
need help. Like nobody's understanding me. Nobody cares. Like then I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this no more. Like maybe I bit off a little bit more than I can chew. Like them thoughts
Mm.
just be crazy. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what I do. Like I know I keep going. I do cry. I
Mm.
cry a whole lot. Like
I do too,
I'm
girl.
emotional and
Yeah.
I don't even be caring. I used to be worried about asking for help, worried about crying, worried about showing people that other side of me. But I'm like, girl, I don't even care no more. If I feel like I'm gonna cry, then I'm gonna cry. I might cry in the
Cry.
grocery store. I
Okay.
might cry at the hair. I don't care where I'm at. If I feel like I'm overwhelmed and it just comes over me, I'm not hiding it no more.
No,
Like I
for
just,
real.
I think I found comfort in like just letting my emotions be my emotions and
Oh,
like
yeah.
literally not caring. Like I'm the definition of like I really don't care what nobody think of me. Like I swear to God, like I will cry in the grocery store. I'm
That's
not playing.
good.
If I'm stressed out, I will.
Listen,
And I'll be like,
listen.
you know what? After I'm done, I'll be like, you know what? I feel better. You know, because you feel better after you
You
cry. You feel
do.
like
That's a
you
good
release.
release.
So girl crying, working out,
Yes.
eating, which is not a good habit because I
I
know
know.
I definitely gained a couple pounds that I have not been able to lose.
Listen, the struggle is real.
I
Where Elaine? Don't let Elaine hear us talking.
swear.
Yes. Well, no, and listen, if you know me personally, like I am a cry baby. I cry like half the day. Okay. Just about everything. It could be good, bad, happy, mad, sad. I'm crying. I'm a cry. One thing I'm gonna do is I'm a cry.
I'm gonna
Okay.
cry.
Look at here's Elaine. Here she is. I knew it. She said we talk about
Swear.
eating and working out. She is coming. We have LaShonda. She said, "Oh, congratulations on the baby. It definitely takes a village. You're on the right path and you got
Thank
this."
you.
Yes, you do. She said, "This is great." So, even going back to talking about a village and a support system, and we talk I've been seeing this meme floating around forever about how adults even need a village, as they're growing. So tell me about your support system, and I'm not saying like, oh, you got to name everybody or anything, but like, how does your support system how does your support system help you as a mom, as a eh, you know
I can say that.
She's like, and
I had to
if
think about it real
listen,
quick because I have great friends.
yes,
I
okay,
can never discredit them. I can
mhm,
never discredit them. I can never act like they don't exist because my friends, if I'm calling them at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, if
yes,
I'm going through something, if I'm crying, if I'm stressed, I have like the best friends. And
that's
it's crazy
great.
because a lot of them I met through prison. The girl
Mm,
that sung that
yeah,
finally well first introduced me to, like wanting to be a rapper or
yeah,
whatever. I'm still very good friends with her. Like I call her all the time. She like prays with me. Like my friends are
yeah,
just so beautiful because like they not just friends you can go to the club with. Like my friends pray with me. They cry with me. They
yes,
didn't help me. They didn't help me through postpartum. Even
yes,
though like I live in a city where a lot of them aren't like around, we
mhm,
have the phone. Like we're
yeah,
connected through FaceTime. My friends is my whole support system. Like I always
that's
say, I don't know what
good.
I would do without them when it comes to business advice, relationship advice, mom advice. Like they're always there at my beck and call. I can never act like I don't have nobody because I do.
Yeah,
Now physically, it's not like so much as the
Mhm.
same because like I said, I don't live in Erie. So
Yeah.
like I don't have my mom and them. I don't have people I can just drop my baby off to whenever I feel like I want to break or whenever I feel
Yeah.
like I just want to just go just be free and kid free or whatever. I don't have that. So physically it's very draining because I'm still working, trying to be a mom,
Mhm.
trying to be a girlfriend, trying to just do all of this superwoman stuff in a matter of 24 hours just to wake up and do it all over again. So physically,
Mm.
it's hard on me. Like I probably run myself in the ground for sure with the physical part, but I know when I do feel like my cup is filling up and emotional, I do have my friends to bring me back down
Good.
and remind me of where I came from and
Yeah.
like just offer those encouraging words. And I'm super grateful. Like I'm super grateful.
That's awesome. Well, shout out to the friends. Listen, it doesn't matter. Like I always say, like, even if it's not your family, that's your support system. Like to be able to say you have friends that are your village, even if it's from far
Mhm.
away, like that's important. Like I've made like TikToks about how it's like find your tribe. Like I don't care who it is. There's
Mhm.
a billion people in this world. Like, and I'm heavy in prayer about prayer. Like I believe in prayer heavy. And so like I remember there was a time that I just asked God, like, please send me the right friends that are like-minded or like that really genuinely care about me and things like that. And I do believe he blessed me with them. And they're a big part of my support system
Mhm.
and my village. And I think that's a beautiful thing when you can find people that are not blood that become
Right.
family because that's a
Exactly.
special kind of relationship. So it's that's an awesome thing for sure.
It is.
So Divinely Crowned is all about confidence and self-love and self-care. So I always like to ask the question, what does confidence mean to you? You seem like a very confident person. Have you always been that
Mhm.
way?
I think, yeah, I think for the most part,
Okay.
yeah, I think I actually have. I don't think I've ever had a time where I felt like inadequate or maybe a
Mhm.
little bit after having a baby because you just feel
Mhm.
strange after
Yeah.
pushing a human out of your body.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yes.
it's a little weird, like, all the way
Yes.
around. But I don't think I've ever been like down on myself, like I'm worthless or, like I think I've always been pretty confident, despite the things that I've been through in my life. But confidence to me just means like what I said earlier, like you really can't care about what anybody has to say. Like if you want to wear a tutu all 12 months out of the year, like wear a tutu, like who
Yes.
cares? Like cuz who cares? Like like
No,
I
for
just
real.
really I'm so unbothered by people's opinions if it isn't good. Like I
Yeah.
literally don't care what nobody has to say. I don't care if you don't like my hair. I don't care if you don't like the way that I talk. Like confidence is just knowing like you're you're that girl in your own individuality, like not trying to be like nobody else because there's a
Mhm.
lot of carbon copies out here. There's a lot of people that's not genuinely being their self because they want to be an aesthetic or they want to be a mood or they want to be like
Mhm.
when that's not even what you want to do. You don't even like wearing wigs. You don't even like, wearing nails. Like you trying
Yeah.
to keep up with everybody. Like, no, just do what you want to do. Like,
Yeah.
so confidence is just like just not caring,
Not
literally.
caring. That is definitely a part of confidence because I grew up with very low self-esteem. Like I was always outgoing, but I always was so like comparing myself. Like because I've been like there's people have helped with that, but it's like
Yeah.
always comparing who I was. And there was a part where I just was like, listen, I don't care, like, because it was my weight was always an issue, up and down all the time, and, like, there was really a part when I had my daughter, when I was like, I have this human little girl that's gonna look up to me, and I'm gonna be the first person she looks up to and
Right.
sees as an example. So I gotta learn to love myself, where I'm at, what shape I am, what I may look like, how I may be at this moment, what I might be dealing with in my life, and be confident in who I am. And it changes your whole life when you have
Sounds
confidence. Now
good.
I'm a whole confidence coach and teaching people how to have confidence and even watching the transformations of my clients um with how they now have confidence. It's like they're getting jobs and everything, and it's like confidence really is that's the base of like almost the base of who you are and how
Yeah.
you go out into the world. So for you to be able to say like even think about it like dang, I really ain't never been not confident. Like that's a powerful thing because I think a lot of women, I'm realizing even being in this field or this business I'm in, it's like
Right.
there's a lot of us that we feel inadequate sometimes, and it's like it's definitely nice to see women like you who are like, listen, vocally, you're out in the open, like don't care what no one says, and just embrace
Right.
who you are because it's needed for women to
Yeah,
be.
confidence is crazy. Confidence
It
to
is.
have you walking around with a sheet on, feeling like you look like
Okay.
Beyonce. Like, confidence is
Swear.
just like wearing your hair sticking up. Like,
Yeah.
nowadays it's
Listen.
cool. It's cool to be weird. It's cool to be
It
different.
is.
It's cool to be like your own individual. Like, why not?
Mhm.
Like, why not?
Yes. Yeah, and yeah, that is so true. All that. Like I always say I've adopted one of these new phrases like confidence is my favorite accessory because like you said, like you can go out with your hair sticking up and a sheet on and like if you own that and own who you are, like I've become more free with just dancing. Like I have no problem dancing anywhere. Like and that's just the confidence in me coming out. Like if you know I'm gonna either cry or I'm gonna dance, or you might get both at the same time. Okay.
Right.
Yes.
I
So
love
I
it.
love that. And I love that you're able to share that with the world. So I let's get into your business a little bit more. For those who might just be tuning in or don't know or might listen to this in the future, tell me about Baddie Obsession.
Baddie obsession. Yes.
Okay, you just launched an ebook. So go ahead and promote yourself
Yes.
real quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
How should I
Go on,
start?
sis.
No. Well, as y'all know, if y'all don't know, my clothing brand is Baddie Obsessions, and I have women's clothing that I sell. So we got all kinds of stuff: sweatsuits, mesh stuff, hot girl stuff, cold girl stuff, mommy stuff. If
Yes.
you like sweatsuits, we got shoes, boots. Like, I sell a little bit of everything.
Yes.
So I started Baddie Obsessions because I just wanted to, like, I don't know, I feel like I could make a difference. I feel like I definitely have a opinion. I definitely have influence.
Mhm.
And I like girls. Like, I'm a girl's girl. Like,
Mhm.
I'm never one to be like, oh, you look a mess. Like, I'm like, oh, like, you cute. Like,
Yeah.
like, I'm that girl. So, like,
Yes.
I want to give that to people, give them confidence and stuff like that. And um, just selling pieces that's gonna make people feel good and look their best. Like, I have so many people tell me all the time, like, like they didn't think that they was gonna look good in something, but just the fact that, like,
Mm.
I'm promoting it like I am, and I'm, for a woman, like, I'm for the
Yes.
woman, and I'm putting that battery in their back. Like, they're like, shit, I still bought it. I know I ain't gonna look like
Yes.
you, but I still bought it. And I'm like, that's what I want, because the
Yes.
goal isn't for you to look like me. The goal is for you
Mhm.
to look like you, and
Yes.
love the way that you look. I don't
Yes.
want you to look like me, and you shouldn't want to look like me. But the fact that you bought it because you were inspired and you still gonna put it on, like, I love that. Like, I like to make people feel good. I like to make
Mhm.
people happy. And I love when people tell me they were happy with their purchases. Like, it just makes my day, because I feel like whatever you're going through, if you look good, you're gonna feel good. And
Mhm.
that matters. Like,
I love
so I'm
that.
here for the women. Yes, I'm here for
Yes.
the
So
baddies.
if you haven't already, definitely, and I will get all your information after so I can put it in the show notes so we can get your links and people can come
Okay.
shop with you. I need to come shop with you.
Yes,
Listen. So and then you have your ebook that you just
yes,
launched. So tell me a little
yes.
bit about that.
So the ebook, I wanted to put that out there because I know there are a million people like me who
Mm.
have questions. When you start a
Mhm.
business, there's so many questions, and like me being a perfectionist and needing to cross my T's and dot my I's, I'm like, well, where do I get this from? Who do I talk to about this? Like, where do I go get the EIN? There's a lot of people that are just charging for, like, basic information, and
Mm.
I don't know, like, if I'm gonna charge for something, I at least want it to be very useful information. I
Mhm.
want people to be able to feel like they were not used, but yet they got a deal. Like, they broke off, like blessing. Like,
Mhm.
because with the whole, like, how to start your business or whatever, and how to make five figures in 90 days, I gave out, like, my secrets to the things that I do,
Mhm.
of how, like, successful I am with the money that I'm making. I gave out so much stuff in this book: how to get your LLC, the EIN, the virtual address. I gave people vendors and stuff to shop from if they
Okay.
want to start their own clothing business.
Nice. That's
I gave
good.
the people content information, where to get like ring lights from, where to get shipping bags from. Like I gave
Mm.
a whole lot of information because I know somebody could use it. Somebody somewhere
Mhm.
wants to start a business, doesn't know where to start, doesn't know where to get things from, and that book is going to save a lot of people a ton of time. I
Mm.
spent hours researching stuff, hours going through vendors, hours looking for the perfect materials, the perfect bags and stuff like that, labels. And I just wanted to make it easier for people to be able to be successful because a lot of people are saying, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. So
Mhm.
I just wanted to put everything in one book for everybody and then them have the option to literally go to the book and get whatever question that they need to answer from the book. So,
That's awesome. And so we'll get the link for that too. So that anybody who's starting business, even like you said, down to like, vendors, because I'm always seeing women say they or women men mostly women, so I'm gonna be honest and
hmm
say women that want to start like clothing businesses, and for you to say like this is in the ebook, like that's some
right.
good stuff even right there, because people literally sell that by itself. So
hmm
you have
Yeah,
that.
the vendors alone, yeah, is a
Yes.
couple $100 to be
Yeah.
honest.
I know
Yeah.
I saw you had the plus size vendor, uh,
hmm
when you posted, I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Am
Yes,
I
I
ready
want
for
somebody to
that?"
get that vendor so
Did
bad and
w
get that
Oh, they no
stuff
one got it
because I can't
still?
model it. So I mean, like, no, it's the vendor is in the ebook. That
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
the plus size vendor is in the ebook. So anybody that has the ebook, they have access to the plus size vendor.
okay.
But I know some people just wanted to get straight to the point and just
Yeah,
wanted a vendor. So I posted, hey, I have this available for X amount of dollars. But
yeah.
I like I can always get, plus size stuff and model it, but I'd rather a more thicker girl get it and model it. So like you
Mhm.
guys have like more of like, okay, this is how it's gonna look on me
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whatever, whatever. So like I can't wait till somebody snatch that up and just
Listen,
start
I
killing it
literally
because
thought of
it's
it. So
they have
somebody better
bomb
get it
stuff.
before I do, okay? I'm
Yes.
like, "Can I add any more to my plate right now?" I
I
am
swear.
growing like Divinely Crown is doing whatever it wants to do at this point, okay?
Right.
Like, I like you said, you just go after something. Like, recently, I don't know if you saw, but I had my first event, and now that
Yes, I
I've
did.
been doing stuff, but since I did that and it was successful, I was like, "Oh, you can't tell me I can't do nothing." Like,
Right.
you listen, Imma do everything I said I wanna do, and I'm not just dreaming no more, I'm doing it. So, I'm like, "What else can I add?" Like, but yeah, we
And you
might
see
have
how
to
you
do.
started that. You were confident in that. You
Yeah.
sold your tickets. You made it a classy event. Like
Mhm.
it was perfect. Like
Thank you.
people, they
It
wanted
was
to come because your vibe. Like they know that it wasn't going to be no drama. It was going to
yeah,
be a chance for them to get out, get dressed, and have like a night on the town without no
yeah.
drama or none of that. Like I'm so happy that area has you. I swear, I genuinely say
Oh,
that because
see, I know
it's
you
a
I was
different
like, "This about
vibe.
to have me
You
crying
know.
before we got even on here." Thank you.
Swear, you welcome.
Oh, they better cheers me while I'm here, because 'cause I've been trying to leave for like 10 years. Listen, every I had my I'm like, "I'm moving." Then I got pregnant with my daughter. I'm like, "Okay, I'm moving." And then I got pregnant with my son. I said, "Okay." So I'm not gonna tell the atmosphere I'm moving anymore until I'm really ready. Because
Mhm.
I mean, I ain't got no way of getting pregnant, but I just don't want
Right,
nothing to stop me. So cherish
right,
me while I'm here, y'all.
right.
So
Swear.
I always like to ask this question. I've been asking this question as any every episode. I like to ask this question because as I'm growing in my business and going after my dreams, I always think about the little girl in me, that little insecure girl that I'm like, she would have never thought she would be doing all this. So I always like to ask the question, what would you tell young Damo if you had Oh, are you still there? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a phone call. I had a phone
Oh,
call coming in,
no,
so
no, I
it cut
like
out. No, I declined it, and it cut out like 10 seconds of what you were saying. You
you.
said you
Okay.
always wanted to ask this question because the
Yeah,
little girl in
I like
you.
to ask the question. So the question I like to ask, because I kind of been thinking about it in myself, from as I'm growing in my journey, I always like to ask the question, what would you tell the little younger, whatever part of the version of you that maybe you weren't your best self, what would you like to tell her at this age and where you're at right now in your life?
I probably would have told her that like somebody else's inability to love you doesn't it shouldn't affect your self-worth. Like
Mm,
it has nothing to do with you and
mm,
everything to do with that person.
mm,
So like no feeling inadequate because like people don't know how to love you properly
mhm.
maybe. I feel like yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's no, that's understandable for sure. So, and I totally, I that's some good stuff to say to her, the younger version of yourself for sure. I got Brittany in the comments. She said, "I love this. Thank you, Britt, and I love
Thank you, girl.
you."
I love her. She's
Yes,
another
she
one with
is. We
like
gonna get Brittany on
goddess
here too. Brittany,
energy.
don't think you
Yeah.
exempt for getting on the Divinely Crown Conversations podcast.
Yes, I would love to see that. I would
Yeah,
love to
I
see
would love
that.
to see it too. We gonna get her on here eventually.
Mhm.
2023. I started this podcast finally. I've been wanting to do it for the last few years, and it was like, do I want to do YouTube or do I want to do a podcast? And I was like, I'm gonna do a podcast, and then I started YouTube, and now I'm learning how to bring them all together. So I'm
Mhm.
excited. But
Yeah.
I started and I'm just trying to figure everything out. And like, yeah, I know, being a mom, I'm now older kids, so they're in activities and whew, so it's a
Mhm.
lot. And I commend you even for doing this with younger child because I remember I always wanted. I went to school for business and communication, so I always wanted to do this, but I was like, I'm gonna just wait till they get older and we'll see what happens. But I always commend the mothers that have newborns and are doing this because I know it is not easy, but you are doing it. And you, from the
Thank
outside
you.
looking in, you are doing it well. So I want to
Thank
tell you, I love
you.
the picture I used for the flyer. Oh, gives me chills.
Yes,
You
I
are,
said, look at me in my professional
yes,
bag.
you are
Oh, look
looking
at
real lovely,
me.
honey. Okay.
I
I was
swear.
like, ah, just like you said, some people be wearing wigs and they don't be wanting to. That I mean, I be wanting to wear wigs, but wigs just aren't my thing. Like I tried
Yeah.
like wigs twice.
I have like a love-hate relationship with him too
Yeah,
because like after 3 days I want it off my forehead. Like I want it
listen,
off. I'd be so irritated.
literally
Like I
how
want
long
this
it
off my
lasts.
forehead. I
Yes, no,
swear.
literally that is I'm like, this is cute, but first of all, I'ma just stick with twists and braids in my afro. So
Mhm.
but no, I love it. So I have Asia. She gets like a viewer's uh crown or something because you always be in the comments. I appreciate
I
you.
know
She
that's
said,
right.
yes, great job, mommy. Actually,
Thank
we might need to
you.
get you on here too. I don't know why. I'm just
She
now thinking
recruiting
of
people
this.
in the comments.
Listen, I'm recruiting.
Next candidate. Yes.
Listen, I keep saying I want all the queens. So
Yes.
yes.
I'm not mad at you.
So before I let you go, is there anything that maybe I did not ask you and you wish I would have, or anything you want to say to the people? Or anything, the floor is yours. The throne is yours. Whatever. Shoot, I gotta find some like exclusive words for these conversations.
I swear. Um, I don't know, y'all. I guess your life is like your life. Like
Mhm,
I always try to live like, like when I get older, I don't want to be like, I wish I would have did that. I don't
mhm,
want to be like, I wish I could have traveled. I wish I would have faced my fears and got on a plane. Like I never want to live and be like, you know what, damn, like feeling unfulfilled.
yeah.
I always say like aside from like any relationships, aside from like being with a man or chasing marriage or chasing money, I want to actually be happy with the
Mhm,
fact that I did everything that I wanted to do. No matter how
mhm,
small, no matter how crazy it is, even if you want to start a farm,
mhm,
I don't know, you want to make light bulbs, whatever you want to do, I feel like you should just do everything that you want to do while you can because
mhm,
like you never know when it's your time. Cherish the good people around you. Don't be on here discrediting people, acting like y'all ain't got no friends when y'all really do. Because people
mhm.
feel some type of way when you post stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can't be acting like you don't have nobody and ungrateful. Like you got to be
Mhm.
grateful for everything around you. Like that's how you attract more and just keep it going. Like just do whatever you want to do, before you kick the bucket, live
Yes.
your life. Don't
Live
care
your
about what
life.
nobody else got to say about you,
Yes.
and start that business, girl. Start that
Yes.
business.
Start that business, girl.
Have that
I
baby.
love
Get married.
it.
Whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Yes. I love it. This was beautiful. I love that we finally have connected and this is an awesome. I love your transparency. So I always like to give my queens their flowers, their crowns, their, all that. So I just want to take the time to say I am truly proud of you for overcoming the obstacles that you've overcome and whatever you still need to work on, you got this. I believe in you. And you are a light. You really are. Like, even through your pictures
Don't
and stuff,
make
I'm
me
like,
cry.
she is, a virtual hug. No, truly. And I truly mean that. Like, you are a beautiful person and
I
just
can
keep
feel that you mean
being
that.
great and just, you got this. I know you do. And I can't wait to see all the
Thank you.
great things you continue to do and just
Yes.
overcome. And yes, so thank you for just
It
all
was
your
lovely.
transparency. Yes, this was great. I
Yes,
loved
thank
it.
you for having me. I love
You're
what you're doing,
welcome.
girl. I can't wait to see the next interview. I'm gonna
Thank
make sure that I
you.
tune in to the next ones that you
Yes,
have, and I'm excited for you and your journey. And I just can't wait
thank
to see where it takes
you.
you.
I appreciate it. Well, guys, thank you for everyone who tuned in and watched and commented and interacted. I will get all of the information for Damo's links so that you can buy her stuff, connect with her, follow her journey as she continues to grow her queendom. So remember, if you haven't already, like Divinely Crown on everything you find. Just Google Divinely Crown and like it all, okay? And you guys know there's an event coming in February. I know, like, it seems like that's so far away, but literally we're almost in the middle of December.
It's not.
So, right. So get your tickets because y'all, you better not be playing with me saying you didn't know because y'all see it already in December. But
Hmm.
yes, so until next time, remember you are divinely crowned.
Yes,
Bye.
ma'am. See you later.
Bye, hun.
Bye, y'all.